Hello, welcome. My name is Miss Middlewick and I'm the subject leader for science here at Ringwood School. I just want to take this opportunity to go through all the revision and preparation opportunities that students have for their exams next summer. The slides I'm going through have got all the relevant information you may need to refer to, but hopefully this information is also going to be familiar to your child. All students will sit 6 science exams at the end of Year 11. The length of these exams will vary depending on whether they're studying combined science or triple science. Most students are studying combined science, and so they should expect 6 1-hour 15-minute papers. There will be 2 for biology, 2 for chemistry and 2 for physics. Whereas if they're studying triple science, they will sit 6 papers, 2 for biology, 2 for chemistry and 2 for physics, but they will be 1 hour and 45 minutes. These papers examine a range of knowledge, skills and understanding. Approximately 40% of the marks will be based on recall. There is a lot of information that students need to know for science. About 40% of the marks will be for applying their understanding to novel situations they've not necessarily met, and 20% will be about looking at data, analysing and evaluating information they have been provided. Students will do 3 sets of mock exams this year for science. All students will sit a paper 1 of biology, chemistry and physics in November, and they will do the same in December but from a different exam series. They will also then in March do a 3rd exam series where they do 3 paper 2s. Again, 1 for biology, 1 for chemistry and 1 for physics. The timings will be true for that of the slide. When we mark these papers, we will use the grade boundaries from the exam board so we can get the most accurate idea of exactly how students are performing. So what support do we offer students to do as well as possible in their science exams next summer? Well, there are lots of opportunities we offer, but the first one being revision guides. Now, lots of students find revision guides really useful, especially if they're their own copy that they can highlight and annotate as they see fit. Lots of students in Year 11 already have a revision guide because they took the opportunity to buy one either in Year 10 or earlier in Year 11. If, however, they decided not to buy one in the opportunities given, then there are plenty of bookshops that do sell revision guides, or alternatively, we have some second-hand ones in school that they can purchase. If they would like to purchase a second-hand revision guide from the school, please send them to school with £1 and they can ask their science teacher where they need to go to get that revision guide. There are also going to be some revision sessions after school. We do not have full details of these yet, however they will be fully published to both students and parents. These revision sessions will be on set topics each week, so that students will be able to look at the whole programme, decide their areas of need and come to the sessions that best suit their requirements. There are also lots of revision resources on the Learning Zone. A particular 2 that I want to point out to you are the required practical videos. There are a number of practicals that students have to be experienced within their course. These practicals will be examined, and it's one aspect of the course that students often don't revise as early as perhaps they should. These videos allow students to review what the practical was, and it gives them questions about the sorts of things that the exam board may ask. The past paper questions are also invaluable. There's one thing about knowing your subject, another thing is knowing how the exam board expects you to express yourself. So I cannot express more deeply how important it is for students to look at past papers and the mark schemes so that they can see the level of detail the exam board is expecting from them. Now, the other aspect that students will be very familiar with is their exam study packs. In September, students were given a number of these study packs. By the end of the year, they will have at least 6 of these, 1 per paper. Now, these study packs contain everything the exam board expects them to know, along with some set tasks that their teachers will be setting. Most of these will be set for homework, and students will be familiar that these have been set already. Ultimately, students need to make sure that they are prepared for their exams next summer. So what can they do to prepare? Well, the first stepping stone for their exams next summer are their mock exams, and although this has already started to happen, their next exams will be in December. Therefore, they need to use whatever revision aids they have that work for them to help make sure it's all. This will allow them to get a really accurate snapshot of where they are, but more importantly, what they need to do to improve. They also need to complete all their home learning on time. Now, in science, most of their home learning in Year 11 is revision and has been since September. Therefore, if they are completing all their home learning and on time to the best of their ability, they have already started structured revision. We find that students doing little and often from September helps most students retain the knowledge they need much more effectively than revising late in the year. I would always recommend using active revision techniques. These will vary according to what helps each individual student, but there are some examples on the slide there. Most students do not retain much information purely from reading, but from actively reviewing and recalling their knowledge. I've already mentioned the benefits of using past paper exams, but they are also in their study packs. Again, this links to completing their home learning tasks and using the mark schemes. When the revision sessions are offered, I would recommend that students go to the sessions that suit their needs, because therefore they will be tailored more for what they require. And again, as I've already mentioned, there are resources on the Learning Zone that I would recommend that students have a look at and find out which ones are useful for them. We have saved a number of revision resources on the School Learning Zone. Now, although students were given paper copies of the study packs, including everything they need to know from the exam board, we have put the electronic copies on the Learning Zone just in case they need to refer to them at any point during their course. We've also put links to all the specimen papers and the mark schemes so that they can have a go in their own time. And again, the required practical video clips I've already mentioned previously. I would like to just say again that the practical video clips are really useful, and it's an area of the course that sometimes students forget to revise as detailed as they perhaps should do. And of course, there are lots of other resources that are available to students. Lots of our students in the past have found BBC Bite Size and YouTube video clips very useful. Two particular YouTube channels that students have found useful have been freesciencelessons.com and Primrose Kitten. Please ask students to have a look at them. Different students like different styles, but the free science lessons are particularly good as they're very short, they're to the point, and it just covers the essentials for what students need to know. Of course, there will be others out there, but if ever students want their teachers just to check the quality of what they're using, then please ask them to talk to their science teacher. And finally, I would just like to say that we have been very proud of the success of our students in science over the last few years. Early revision, detailed recall of information and active revision techniques have all helped. Students will know their own learning techniques best, but please encourage them to use a range of different activities, but the earlier they can start this process, the better. Because we know that students often find this difficult, we have already started that programme for them from September through home learnings and the study packs, but the more that students can engage with that process, the more effective it is. We wish students the very best of luck.